So guys, welcome. I'm back. A little bit of a wobble there. So I'm back in the greenhouse. I'm gonna give you a quick look. So thanks, Koshi. Yeah, you start barking. So week one, I've been out in the garden all the last week. I put in a new flower bed. I'm just buying bags of soil at the moment and leveled off the grass because we had a bit like a moon crater in our lawn. So leveled it off, killed off some of the moss using some washing powder. So didn't, again, with the dog, didn't want to use any harsh chemicals that would get onto his paws or anything like that. And he plays on the lawn, so washing crystals just stresses the moss out and kills it off a little bit. So it was really, really handy. But I'm going to give you a quick overview of what I have and how things have done through the winter. So I have irises here. They're going to be going into the flower bed. They were on the patio last year. This is a lemon tree. You can see the flowers are starting to come. This was my Satsuma orange tree last year. Did totally fine throughout the winter. It'll flower soon. We had loads of lovely little oranges from them last year. Strawberry plants are coming back. This is the Sambucol elderberry, which is a fantastic tonic to make. So we had some berries last year. We'll hopefully have even more this year. That's going to be going out. You'll notice that I have things raised up on the raised beds. I'll explain why in a little while. This very shook looking thing is my passion fruit, which was grown from a seed. I was eating a passion fruit, spat out a seed and put it into a pot in the window, and it took off. So this is its third year. It doesn't like below zero. It's still alive. When I scratch under the vine, it's still totally green. So I've given it a feed. I've given it a good feed, I should say, and it should pop back to life. These are all, so this year, last year, for those of you that remember, this was full of tomatoes, peppers and chilies, but I have all my bedding plants in here. I just planted some up, so I need to give it a water. But I have magnolia, roses, peonies, hydrangeas, lavender, yarrow, alliums, dahlias, gladiolus, other bulbs that I'm just leaving them in here at the moment because last night it went 2.5 in here and it's 14 and a half degrees at the moment, and it hit 27 degrees yesterday at its hottest part. But we're still going to have a couple of nights of 0 or near 0 temperatures, and just to let the ground heat up, let the plants come on a little bit, they'll do an awful lot better, and their roots will take off and they'll grow faster if they're in here. So it'll just do them a lot better, and I'll have the bed filling up quicker. So this then is my cherry tree that's going to be staying in here, and I'm going to put it into a bigger pot. I raised everything up because, for those of you who remember, I had an irrigation system. There's more there. So I had the pots up here. I really probably came into the greenhouse about 5 times throughout the winter just to check that the irrigation system was still working, and it has. This is a pear tree. This here is a little orange tree or apple tree that I bought. It arrived on Saturday. It is not only red outside, it's completely red inside, so can't remember the name of it. That's just some mint growing back there. This bed then was full of beans and sweet corn last year, which the beans did amazing and they were brilliant at bringing in bees into the greenhouse, but the sweet corn hated it. Here I had aubergines, cherry tomatoes and courgette. And then I had cucumbers at the back there on the trellis. I'm going to be changing things around a bit this year. So I have my grapevine. You can see it goes totally dormant during the winter. It's coming back. There's another lemon tree down here, again, up to get the irrigation system. Kiwi is bouncing back to life. My olive tree, my blackcurrant bush, and that's some lemon balm, great tea. This bed then, I've just been using it to store all the bits, but I'm going to be putting my cucumbers in here this year. So the winter time, plenty of slugs and little snails moved into the space, so I'm trying to kill them off as friendly as I can. So this is a little bit of Coors Light in a lid, and they go in and they drink themselves until they drown. Obviously with a dog, and he's a puppy, so he's licking everything and eating everything. I don't want to put down slug pellets. And I've been trying to avoid using any harsh chemicals. Oh, here is my fig tree actually. So you can see the figs are coming back or growing on, and the leaves are coming up on the top. So yeah, got bark mulch down this week as well, just to dry it out. I need to add some more topsoil or compost here to this bed and this bed, and there's 2 beds outside. I want to do the same. These are some these were lilies, and they're going to be going out into the flower bed as well. They were on patio last year. I have some trees from Brazil that I can't plant in the garden because they grow really tall, but I will be looking for someone to take them from me eventually. They are related to the monkey puzzle tree. Actually, they grow really, really beautifully, and they're becoming really rare in Brazil because of it's getting hot, and they grow in really high altitude areas and they don't like the heat, so they'll do really well in the Irish climate. I'm going to bring you outside. So my raspberry canes are bouncing back to life. We've got rhubarb. This is some leeks that I planted last August. This bed I need to top up. This was onions last year, and this was onions and carrots. So this year I'm going to just do, I've obviously forgot 3 onions. You can see they've bounced back into life. This year I'm going to do all onions in this bed and then carrots in this bed. It's good to swap them around because you don't want pests or to build up in the soil. So if you plant the same plant exactly where it was last year, you just attract back in more pests. So you want to swap things around a little bit. I didn't use any pesticides in here last year. I used neem oil, which is a type of essential oil from India, which is a bit stink, and the greenfly hate it, so it was great. I do use fertilizers, but yeah, just to try and, now if I have to use some sort of chemical, I will, but so far I've tried my best to avoid it. I'm happy to use fertilizers, but she could do with a bit of chicken poo. So if anybody's looking, if anyone around Portlaoise has some chickens or some hens, and there's some dry chicken manure, please do let me know. But this is the greenhouse now. For those of you that remember last year, like we had the tomatoes were up really, really high. We had huge amounts of, I don't know why I'm saying we, because it was all me. Leo just came in and harvested and ate them. But I had loads of fruit in here last year and veg. So it was great. We're still eating the onions. I think we're down to the last couple. The carrots we're still eating. I just chopped them, parboiled them, froze them. The potatoes, I grew potatoes last year. Won't be making that mistake again this year. It was just not worth it. Sweet corn wasn't really worth it either. The aubergines that were here, they never gave us any aubergines, or eggplants as the Americans would call them. Won't be planting them this year. I'm just going to do more tomatoes, a lot more peppers, and more cucumbers. And the gherkins, we pickled them all up. We still have jars of them, so I'm going to plant some gherkins as well for pickling. And that's kind of it. Yeah, so then with the flower bed, as I said, it's just been a case of having to just keep buying compost, and every time I think I've got enough, it just isn't. So I need to go buy probably another 4 to 6 bags. I leveled off the lawn. It looks a bit messy at the moment, so I'm not going to show you. I leveled the lawn and then I put topsoil down on top of it and reseeded part of it. So it'll look an awful lot better. We'll have a nicer lawn than this winter. So the irrigation system has been a godsend over the winter because, as I said, I barely had to come in. That's just it here. And it runs on a solar panel and it pumps the water from the water butt out the back into the greenhouse and waters everything. I'm going to buy a second one this year, so I'll have to even water less, which is so handy. Koshi, leave them alone. Yeah, look at you. Yeah. And who's dug out this strawberry plant? So I'm going to go before he wrecks the greenhouse even more. And thank you. And I'll try and do a weekly update as I did last year. So enjoy. And as always, please do give it a like or a comment or a thumbs up or a share.